Good day, everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Happy Hour, the show where we talk about mental health, real life struggles, and how to cope with everything life throws at us. This is Jim.
And this is Eshee. Whether you're going through a tough time, feeling a little lost, or just here to listen and reflect, this is your space.
And today's episode hits a little close to home. We're talking about depression, anxiety, academic stress, and the horror of adulting. Joining us is a medical doctor and a mental health advocate. Please welcome Dr. Lovely May Agan.
Hi, Jim and Eshee, and to everyone who is tuning in, thank you for inviting me here today.
We are also joined by two high school students from MSU ITS, Sachie, Bertumen, and Umar Macare, who are here to share their experiences. Welcome to Happy Hour and thanks for being here.
Hello po. Thank you for having me.
Good day, everyone. I'm actually a very big fan of this podcast, and I'm glad to be here today.
That's great to hear, Sachie. So we heard your classmates and about to graduate from high school. Kumusta naman na? How does it feel preparing for the next chapter of your life?
Kapoy siya. I'm excited for what's next, but if I'm being honest, it's mostly pressure. And then you start comparing yourself to Alban, especially in social media. It makes you feel behind or not enough.
Dili lang siya pressure sa academics, but even the thought of adulting, managing time, money, and family expectations. Dili lalim kay nagdorm ako sa Iligan because I'm not from here. So naasad ko experience with managing my own expenses.
Yeah, and samot na og na yung mga tao nga taas kay expectations sa imo nga, the pressure is real jud, no? What about you, Doc? What do you think about all this?
What you're describing is anxiety, and that's very normal. Common kaayo na siya, especially during big transitions like graduating or preparing for college. It can show up physically and emotionally. Sachie and Umar, how did anxiety affect your high school experience?
Gusto ko mag-MSU IT, kaya di ko gusto biya sa iligan. Bisan pa ideas ko, pressure gyapon to do well. Nahadlok ko basin di ko makapasar or makuha akong dream course, mao sige kog study. But it's led to burnout and has affected my mental health and relationships.
Studying hard is valid, but without rest, lisod jud mag-focus ug makaapekto pud na sa imong overall well-being. Try to balance your time, include rest, hobbies, sleep, and talk to people who support you. What about you, Umar? Care to share anything?
Honestly, Doc, I'm scared. People think I'm lazy tungod kay ni-drop akong grades, but I'm dealing with so much. Pirmi ko kapoy, usahay maghigda lang ko staring at the ceiling. Isod kayo i-explain unya sakit when people judge you without knowing. I'm trying pero bugat na kaayo tanan.
Thank you for sharing. What you're feeling, kakapoy, lisod makafocus, walay gana, these can lead to depression. Dili sa yun, Jude, especially when people don't understand. But your mental health matters too. It's okay to ask for help from family, friends, or even a counselor. You're strong for pushing through, even when it's hard.
Thank you, Doc. Makatabang kayo na sa ko.
That kind of strength, showing up even when you're struggling, is something to be proud of. But even the strongest people need rest. Your feelings are valid, and they deserve just as much care as your responsibilities.
Well, thank you for that, Doc. And thank you again to both Sachie and Umar for being so open today. You've brought up issues like anxiety and depression that are prevalent and relevant to so many students but are not always talked about.
Before we end, is there anything you'd like to say to other students feeling the same way?
To those struggling, please don't give up. You are more than your struggles, and there are people who care.
If you feel pressured to always do well, remember it's okay to rest. You're not a failure for feeling tired. You're doing your best, and that's something to be proud of.
Big thanks to our guests for sharing today. Your stories remind us that every student is doing their best to survive, not just succeed.
Sometimes what helps most are just good friends who remind us to breathe, laugh, and rest.
And if you have those friends, treasure them and be that friend too. That's it for today's episode of Happy Hour.
Whether you're struggling or just needed to hear this, we're glad you're here.
Once again, this is Jim,
And this is Eshee.
and this has been Happy Hour. Catch you next time.